Good morning, you guys, or good afternoon if you're in the East Coast. Lisa Lupo here, joining you guys. For those of you who do not know me, if you're new to my, whoops, I flipped my camera around. If you're new to my page, I am an online business entrepreneur. I have two businesses that I run, one of which is a beautiful network marketing business that my husband and I run from home. And then the other one is a coaching business that was launched towards the end of last year. And that business is all about helping female entrepreneurs in online business get super organized with their schedules, learn how to increase productivity, be more efficient with their time, get to the end of the day feeling like they actually got something done instead of just being busy. Hey, Brooke, what's up, girl? And really helping them move forward, right? When you're more organized with your schedule and you learn how to time block, which is what my specialty is. I'm obsessed with time blocking because I feel like it's such an important thing for entrepreneurs to learn, especially those who work from home, because sometimes it's the discipline that we lack. Working from home, there's so many distractions, right? We don't have a boss. We don't have somebody saying, hey, are you working? So time blocking is a really, really effective way to hold yourself accountable. And once you learn how to do it, it becomes just a routine. It becomes something that you do every single week to set up your schedule. And I'm super excited to have you too, Brooke, getting started on Sunday. So I'm stoked. The countdown is on. For collaboration camp, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. But for those of you who are brand new, again, I am obsessed with helping women step into their power and be more productive and step into that CEO role, that professional role of being a business owner. Because I think a lot of times, especially in network marketing and in online business, there's so many different things that you can do now, right? With social media, there's all these new jobs that have been created. People are, self-made. They're designing new programs and new things for people. And a lot of times we do that without really knowing like how to be organized and how to have the discipline and all of those things. And today's topic is really about life happens, because I want to get into kind of some stories around how we can stay on the sidelines or actually pull ourselves off the field and go onto the sidelines because life is happening, right? And so really quick before I get into that topic, just kind of alluding to what Brooke was just sharing about being so excited. We have a collaboration camp that launches on Sunday. It gets started on Sunday. And this is a collaboration of online business entrepreneurs who are coming together to get super organized with their schedules. We're going to be learning all about time blocking. I'm going to be teaching them all my tips and tricks about how to get organized with their schedules, how to actually make your schedule your boss, right? So every single morning when you open your planner, your day is laid out for you and you run your day instead of letting your day run you, right? So it's all about productivity. It's all about learning to be more efficient with your time. And then at the same time, these women are all collaborating together to help each other grow and supporting each other's missions and celebrating each other, promoting each other's projects and businesses, and really getting out there on social media and showing up big for their vision. And so that's what this is all about. We have a couple spots left. Enrollment closes on Saturday. So if you're somebody who's been watching or you're somebody who is kind of curious about what I'm talking about, if you go to the link in my bio here on Instagram, there's a link. And that link, the link in my bio, actually takes you to my website where you can read all about Collaboration Camp. And then there's also an application you can fill out that's at the bottom of the page. And that application is just my way of kind of getting to know a little bit more about you, what your business is, what your goals are, and to see if it's a good fit for you to be part of this camp. So that is what's coming up on Sunday, is this Collaboration Camp kicks off. It's a 6-week camp. And we have some awesome guest speakers that are going to be joining us every week. We have a new guest speaker, expert online business owners that are going to be sharing their tips and stuff. So today's topic is all about life happens, right? And I think we all know that saying, right? Like shit happens, life happens. And it's really what you do with it, right? That makes the difference in your life. It either holds you on the sidelines and it keeps you out of the game, or you can use it as fuel to kind of push you forward, right? And to see the gift and the beauty and the lesson in the life happenings, right? And so there's a scale of things, right? There's things that happen to us that are kind of minor, that we can let them kind of throw us off or throw a day off or throw us off for a few 5 minutes or a few hours. And then we have more extreme things that can happen to us, right? Deaths in the family, somebody that you love gets sick. You know, you have these big things that happen that you're like, gosh, this could totally rock my world and take me out of productivity. And literally my business could fall apart because of this, because it's so tragic, right? And those things happen. And obviously we have to take the time to deal with tragedy and things like that. But on a daily basis, the life happenings that come up, like little setbacks, little challenges that we have that come at us, they're happening for you, right? And it took me a really long time to realize this. They're all happening for you. What's meant for you can't miss you. And if you really understand that what's meant for you can't miss you, you know that every single thing that comes your way is for you. It's happening for you. And even if it's not a positive experience, even if it's something that holds you back or sets you back or disappoints you or hurts you or puts you in emotional pain or anything, or if it's a physical injury or something like that happens, there's always a gift. There's always some sort of a lesson hidden within that, right? And, I can speak just from experience. Sorry, my dog's barking at somebody. I can speak from experience in, watching my husband go through so many different injuries. He's got, he was a football player. He beat up his body as a young man, right? And so he's now dealing with a lot of these things that come up as you get older. He's incredibly fit. He's a personal trainer. He takes really good care of himself, but there are certain things that have happened over the years, just injuries, right, that come from injuries that he had when he was younger and things like that, right? So we deal with, on a daily basis, his pain. He deals with this pain on a daily basis. And, as his spouse, seeing him in pain and seeing the limitations and dealing with some of the financial stress that brings and all of the different things that come with chronic pain and injuries and things like that. You can either use those things as a way to say, well, I'm a victim and this is happening to me and this sucks and, it's going to take me out of productivity or it's going to take me out of building the life that I want because it's a total setback. And we can kind of fall victim to that. And sometimes we do, right? And a couple years ago with a knee issue that Chris had, we did do that. We kind of let it take us out of the game. We lost our dog. We had to put our dog down. Bear. We also had Chris's knee surgery. We had all these things that happened in a short period of time that were like, it was like one hit after another hit after another hit, life happenings, right? And we allowed it to sideline us. It completely sidelined us. And through that experience, we ended up learning a year later that it was such a beautiful gift. It was actually happened for us, and it was an opportunity for us to grow and for us to learn how we can bounce back in the future, right? When things happen. Because guess what? There's never going to be a time in your life where you're free of challenge forever, right? You're always going to have things come at you, right? There's always going to be things that come up in our lives, and we can either be in denial about that and say, well, once I get through this challenge, I'll be good to go, and then I'll build my business, or then I'll pursue my dreams. Or we can just say, hey, this stuff's going to come up, right? Things are going to come up. Life's going to happen. Setbacks are going to happen. So why don't we learn how to bend and flex and be able to flow through them with a little bit more ease and understand how to use them to fuel us, right? And to say, I'm honoring that this is something that's hard, right? I'm recognizing that this hurts, or I'm recognizing that this is a setback or this is a challenge, but I'm also recognizing that I don't have to let it sideline me, right? And so people often are building a business and then something happens, right? Life happens. And they go on the sidelines and they sit off on the sidelines until they feel better, right? Or until they're re-inspired. Well, the news flash around that is that you're never going to just magically feel inspired. You have to be in action, pursuing the things that light you up in order to be inspired, right? Action comes before inspiration, not the other way around. You're not just going to be magically inspired every single day to do what you need to do. You have to get in action, do the things that actually do light you up, that light your soul up, to get that inspiration to keep going, right? And so, we had a recent little hiccup on our trip to Hawaii, right? Like, we had an experience with some people that were not operating the way that we wanted to operate, right? Not being around people that we wanted to be around. So we could have used that as a way, and we did for a short little minute, to say, hey, this is going to ruin our trip. This whole trip sucks now. Like, we could have done that, right? Or we could say, you know what? We're adults and we're in control of our life, and we're in control of the life that we're creating, and we're in control of how we choose to feel, right? And we can choose to let someone else affect our mood or our day or our enjoyment of something, right? We can choose to allow that to happen to us. Or we can say, you know what? I'm a grown adult and I'm in control and I'm in charge of how I feel, and I'm going to change my situation, or I'm going to move into a different direction, or I'm going to make a new choice so that I'm in control of how I feel and I feel good. Right? And so it was a huge challenge, you guys. We didn't talk about it online because we didn't make it the highlight of our trip. We were determined to have a good time in Hawaii, and we did, right? And did we have a couple days that weren't great? Yes. But did we turn it around? Yes. And that is just an example, you guys, of Every single one of us has this stuff happen. Every single one of us, wakes up in the morning at some point not feeling good, right? Or has a kid that's throwing up, or has a dog that's having, stomach issues, or has, a flat tire, or has whatever, you name it, right? Of some sort of crazy bill that comes up that's unexpected, that could be a big setback, or a family tragedy or something, right? We all have this stuff that happens. And it's really how we choose to deal with it, and not playing that victim role and saying, this is going to take me out. And even talking about extreme things that happen, right? That like, I want to honor some of you that are dealing with things like, you have a family member that's very sick, right? Or you have maybe lost someone recently. And those things can be even more, right? They completely wipe you out, and they change your perspective on life, and they can make you feel, they can make you go down into a deep, dark depression and all of these things. And sometimes you have to honor that space that you're in and allow yourself time to grieve, right? But there comes a point where we have to recognize that we're still here. There are still people here that we need to serve and live for, right? And that we can use that pain that we're feeling as fuel to push us forward. Right? We can, and oftentimes, you guys, entrepreneurs create things. They create businesses and programs, and they transform their lives because of a pain that they had that was fueling them. Okay, so think about some of the people that we know that have gone to do great, amazing things, right? Like, look at Tony Robbins, if you know his story, right? If you listen to The Rock, right, or his story, right? Or there's so many people out there, Oprah Winfrey, that had these painful things happen to them, that they took those things and they turned them into a business. They turned them into a way to impact other people and help the world in some way, right? And so they're using their pain to fuel a passion of theirs that then becomes a passion project, or becomes a business, or becomes a gift that they give to the world, right? And, getting back to kind of my time blocking that I do, my coaching that I do with women, that was born from a pain that I had. That was born from a low that I had in my business. I was working so hard, I burned myself out, and I got really sick. And I had a good 2 months of like, holy crap, I'm not well, right? My business is booming, but I'm not well. Well, through that pain, through that suffering, through that hard time, I had to learn how to be more productive. I had to learn how to balance my life a little bit better. So I learned how to time block, and I got really good at it. And then I went and I turned that into a gift that I could give other people, teach other people how to do it. So had I not had that challenge in my life, had I not had that pain, that setback of dealing with some health challenges, and watching like my business was booming, but my whole life was kind of falling apart behind the scenes, right? If I had not had that experience, I maybe wouldn't have launched this program, and I maybe wouldn't have been able to impact the women that I've been able to impact with it, right? And now this collaboration camp that's coming, it was all born out of a setback that I had. So I encourage you guys that are watching, those of you that are entrepreneurs, right? You're building, some sort of business. Maybe you're in a network marketing company. Maybe you have a podcast, or you're in real estate, or you're launching a new program. You're a personal trainer, something like that, right? You have some business that you're creating, or that you're building, or that maybe you've already launched, that you're kind of feeling like you're a little bit on the sidelines, right? You're kind of watching other people. You have vision, you have dreams, but you're over here kind of allowing things to hold you back. And we talked about on Sunday, sometimes what holds us back is thinking that we need to do it all alone by ourselves. Thinking that we have to just bust it out ourselves and do it alone, and it gets really lonely sometimes, but we think we just have to figure it out, right? Be independent and do it. Well, we need people. We need to lean on people, and that's why I've created Collaboration Campus, so women can lean on each other, because we need each other. So that was the topic of Monday. Like, are you on the sidelines feeling like you have to do this alone? Waiting for inspiration, waiting to get fired up? Go lean on other women. Go, meet other people. Infuse yourself in communities and get part of masterminds and collaboration camps and things like that, where you can get around other women that are moving and shaking. Okay, and then yesterday we talked about, what did we talk about yesterday? I can't remember. Another topic around keeping you on the sideline, like what's holding you back? What's keeping you on the sidelines? Oh, it was like getting ready to get ready, right? Like overthinking things. We're overthinking that we need to have all these things done before we go after this, or we have to have our website completely built out, right? Or we have to have some sort of app for this, and we have to have someone hired for that, and we have to have all these things laid out. Well, when you're an entrepreneur in 2019, right, the time that we live in now, we have so many resources and we have access to so many things. Like, we just have to really get started and put ourselves out there, and all those other things kind of start to fall in place, right? The biggest thing that you need is your why. The biggest thing that you need is your vision and your why and your reason for doing it, and all the rest of the stuff is going to come, right? And I think we sometimes sit there and we overthink it, right? So that was the topic of yesterday. And then today, getting off the sidelines and really just understanding that life is always going to happen, right? And we can either say it's happening to me, this sucks, this is a setback, or we can say this is happening for me and I'm going to look for the gift. I'm going to look for the lesson or the gift, because the lesson repeats until, right? So if you keep coming up against the same stuff, the same roadblocks, the same walls, the same thoughts, the same fears, it's because that lesson, that experience, that challenge, that setback is going to continue to repeat until you break through it, until you face your fear. Okay, it's going to keep coming up. So for me, my money story was a big one, right? It kept coming up for me that there was never enough. I had a ceiling over me as far as my income. I didn't know how I could break free out of this place that I was in, right? Well, I kept thinking that way. I kept thinking, how do I do it? I don't know how to do it. I was overthinking it, right? The lesson kept repeating. I kept having these challenges. I kept coming up against roadblocks. I kept coming up against ceilings where I couldn't break through it. And it was so frustrating. And what I realized was that I had to be willing to do something different, do something that I'd never been willing to do before in order to break through that. And guess what? The lessons stopped coming, right? So I broke through that because I was willing to step forward and step into what I was afraid of. Okay, so whatever it is that's coming up for you, the life happenings that keep coming, the setbacks and challenges that keep coming at you, they're there for a reason, and they're to teach you a lesson or to shift you in a new direction and help you grow, right? So that you can become the best version of yourself. So, there's a woman, Michelle, and if you're watching, from Bozeman, who, I saw her pop up on one of my other lives the other day, and she had a tragedy in her family, right? She lost her husband tragically, and she turned that into a business. She turned that into a nonprofit that is helping other women who are widowed, right? And beautiful business that came out of that, out of incredible loss and pain, right? And was she without pain and without suffering? And no, of course, she had time of grieving, and she had time that was, I'm sure, huge setbacks for her and all of that. But then she eventually went and turned it into a gift that she could give to the world, right? And serve other people who were feeling that way. So my point in sharing that is that we all have these pains, we all have stories, we all have tragedy, we all have things that hurt, and things that, we feel like, why is this happening to me? And I encourage you to look at it and say, this is happening for me. Now my job is to see what's the gift in this, and how can I turn this into something beautiful for the world? Because I just don't believe that these things happen randomly. I think they're placed in our lives, even tragic things, they're placed in our lives for us to grow, for us to learn, for us to step even bigger into our purpose, discover who we're supposed to be in the world, and what our message is, right? So if we look at those things, these life happenings, as gifts, it's a completely different perspective, right? And it can completely change your life if you'll allow it to, or it can hold you off onto the sidelines, right? So my whole thing around this daily lives that I'm doing this week is all about, girl, get off the frickin' sidelines. Like, stop standing on the sidelines watching everybody else and allowing the overthinking and the lack of support and the life happenings and all these things keeping you off the field of your life, of your dreams, right? Keeping you from building your vision and really going for it. And, we just have to really look at those things and honor the pain and honor where they came from, but then also say, okay, now I'm going to use this to serve. Now I'm going to use this to make my life even better and impact other people. Because that's really where it's at, you guys, is when you're impacting other people and you're doing something that feels good and that it's bettering someone else's life. That's why we're here, right? I really believe that's why we're here, is to impact other people in some way through our gifts, through our experiences. And we all have them. So tomorrow I'm going to be going live again at 10. So every single day this week through Saturday, I'll be going live at 10 with different topics related to being on the sidelines and kind of hanging out over there, waiting, getting ready to get ready, to help you guys push through and just really see that we all have shit, right? We all have stuff, right? That we have stuff that we're dealing with in the background of building my business, right? And I'm not allowing it to hold me back. I'm not allowing it to keep me offline. I'm not allowing it to rob me of my vision, right? I'm using it as fuel to pursue my vision. I'm saying we have challenges, we have stuff going on in the background that, everyone does, right? But we're still showing up every day. I'm still showing up every day for you guys. I'm still showing up every day to build my vision. I'm still showing up because I know I have a mission and I have people out there that I'm meant to serve. And if I allow my life happenings to hold me back, I'm not gonna be able to reach those people. I'm not gonna be able to share my gift, right? So anyway, again, I want to mention that collaboration camp. We have a couple spots left. It closes on Saturday. If you're interested in getting around some other female entrepreneurs who are in online business, who are ready to jump in and go hard and play big and show up online bigger and stronger than they have been in order to build their businesses and collaborate with each other and create that girl tribe, go to the link in my bio and you can click the link there. It'll take you to my website where you can read all about it and apply. So once you apply, I'll set up a time with you to talk about your vision, your business, your income goals, why you want to join collaboration camp. We'll talk a little bit about what it is, a little bit more detail about what it is, and then see if it's a good fit for you. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Mountain Time right here. We're going to be talking again about being on the sidelines and how we can kind of get back on the field and pursue our vision. If this inspires you, you guys, please share it. Please let other people know about these lives, because I really believe that, the more people we can help, the more people I can impact that can hear this message, the more people we can help grow their dreams, right? And pursue what they're looking to pursue. So share it. Leave me a comment if you're watching on the replay. Send me a message and just let me know that you checked out the replay. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being on, Brooke. I will see you guys very soon. Bye.